Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so glad you're joining us today because we're tackling a genuinely essential topic for growing families, and that is navigating the Minnesota WIC program. Now, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by government applications, don't even worry about it. We are going to break this entire thing down together, step by step.
Are you living in Minnesota and looking for support with nutrition for you and your family? In this explainer, we'll navigate the step-by-step process of applying for the WIC program so you can access the resources you deserve. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive right into this. First up, we'll welcome you to Minnesota WIC. Then we'll cover eligibility and required documents, followed by applying and your appointment. Next, we'll go over using your WIC benefits, troubleshooting any issues, and finally, we'll wrap up with some final tips and a quick disclaimer.
Section 1, Welcome to Minnesota WIC. Nutrition for growing families. Basically, WIC is all about protecting and improving the nutritional status of women, infants, and children. And to make this super concrete for us today, we're going to follow a fictional pregnant mom named Sarah right through her exact journey.
So that brings us to Section 2, eligibility and required documents. Do you qualify? Because let's be honest, this is usually the biggest hurdle for folks. Just figuring out if they should even bother applying in the first place.
Before we get bogged down in all the nitty-gritty details, let's just look at Sarah's big picture roadmap. 1. Check eligibility. 2. Apply online or by phone. 3. Attend that local clinic appointment. And 4. Shop for your groceries. Keeping this really simple 4-step map in the back of your mind just helps take away so much of that administrative anxiety.
All right, let's break down step 1, which is eligibility. First, you've got to meet the categorical requirements. This means you must be pregnant, postpartum up to 6 months, breastfeeding up to a year, an infant, or a child under the age of 5. And like Sarah, who's pregnant, you do have to physically live in Minnesota. But here's something really amazing about this. There is absolutely no minimum residency duration required. Even better, the program doesn't verify citizenship status or ask about your immigration history at all. It is strictly about getting families the nutrition they need.
Now for the financial side. WIC calculates financial eligibility using traditional gross income limits, which sit at 185% of the federal poverty guidelines. But I've got to share this secret for Sarah. Because she's pregnant, WIC actually counts her as 2 people. That automatically bumps her up into a higher allowable income bracket, which is awesome. Also, it's definitely worth noting that if you already participate in programs like SNAP or Medicaid, you might have what's called adjunctive eligibility, meaning you're just automatically income eligible for WIC. Once Sarah knows she actually qualifies, she needs to grab her documents. Think of this as your essential checklist. You need proof of identity, so a driver's license for adults or maybe a hospital crib card for newborns. You need proof of address like a utility bill or a lease agreement, and proof of income like recent pay stubs or tax forms. Now listen, if you are experiencing a crisis right now, like displacement or homelessness, and you don't have these documents handy, please don't panic. WIC has alternate options and affidavit forms to make absolutely sure you don't fall through the cracks.
Moving on to Section 3, applying and your appointment. Taking the first step. Sarah's got her documents ready, so it's time to actually take action.
You essentially have 2 primary ways to kick this off. Sarah can hop on to the Minnesota Department of Health's secure RedCap portal and just apply online, or she can simply call 1-800-WIC-4030. The really cool thing about the online system is that it securely routes her application straight to her local county or tribal clinic based on her zip code, putting her right into the queue.
So, Sarah gets a call back and schedules her visit. But she might be wondering, and you're probably wondering too, what actually happens when you walk through the doors of the physical WIC clinic.
Honestly, it's a super supportive environment. First, the clinic staff are going to take some basic clinical measurements. We're talking height, weight, and a really quick finger stick to check hemoglobin and screen for iron deficiency anemia. Whoever's applying for benefits, including kids, must be physically present for this part. Then, the clinician logs that data into the state's secure winning database and provides Sarah with some personalized nutrition counseling and health goals. And the appointment wraps up pretty quickly after that. To finish up, Sarah just reviews and signs the official rights and responsibilities form right on an electronic signature pad. With that digital signature, she seals the deal and is officially certified to get her WIC benefits.
Which brings us to the fun part. Section 4, using your WIC benefits. Time to shop. Sarah is certified, she's ready to go, and it's time to bring that nutritious food home.
Now gone are the days of fumbling with those old paper vouchers. Today, all of Sarah's household nutritional benefits are loaded onto one really convenient electronic card, which she uses right alongside her official Minnesota WIC shopping guide to know exactly what she can buy.
But to make things even easier, Sarah should immediately download the My Minnesota WIC app. All she does is register with the household ID that's written on the back of her card. Guys, this app is a total game changer. She can check her benefit balances, track her upcoming clinic appointments, and honestly, the best part? She can use the Food Finder barcode scanner right there in the grocery store aisle to instantly verify if an item is WIC allowed.
Now, when Sarah actually gets to the checkout lane, there is a very specific order of operations you have to follow to prevent any transaction failures. So listen close because this is crucial. First, make sure you're at an authorized retailer. Second, tell the cashier you're using WIC. Third, and this is literally the most important step, swipe your e-WIC card first before you swipe any SNAP cards, credit cards, or hand over cash. Fourth, the system will print a midpoint receipt showing exactly which items are being covered by WIC. Review that carefully. And finally, if it all looks good, punch in your 4-digit PIN to approve it.
And I've got to give you this incredible pro tip. WIC actually allows split billing for fresh produce. So let's say Sarah has a $20 cash value benefit for fruits and vegetables, but her fresh produce rings up at $25. She does not have to put those veggies back. The system will just automatically exhaust her WIC produce balance, and she can seamlessly pay that remaining $5 difference with SNAP, cash, or her debit card. Pretty great, right?
Moving into Section 5, Troubleshooting and Getting Help. Overcoming Hurdles.
So what happens if Sarah enters her PIN wrong 4 times in a row? Well, her e-WIC card will automatically lock for security. If that happens, or if her card gets lost, stolen, or damaged, there is zero need to panic. All she has to do is call 1-833-566-5248 or just contact her local clinic to get it reset or replaced right away.
Also, if Sarah is just feeling awful one day during her pregnancy and she can't make it to the store, she can use proxy shopping. That means she can authorize a trusted person, like her partner or a family member, to take her card and PIN and shop for her. But remember, there are strict rules here. You cannot ever sell, trade, or give away your WIC benefits, cards, or formula, and yes, that includes posting them on social media.
Section 6, Final Tips and Disclaimer. You're empowered. WIC really is such a powerful tool for healthy child development.
As we wrap up our time together, please note this important disclaimer. This explainer provides general guidance based on available information and does not substitute for official advice from WIC agencies or professional consultations. Always verify with your local office for the most accurate and specific advice.
And finally, I want to leave you with this question. Do you know a Minnesota family who could benefit from WIC? Our public health completely relies on communities sharing vital resources with one another. So if you found this explainer helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who might just need a little extra support. Let's empower our communities with the knowledge they need to thrive. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.